train to Hoboken.
Stand clear of the closing door.
Hello everyone, today is Monday, September 16th, 2019. It is 11:30 a.m., 76 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 24 degrees Celsius. Right now I am in Hoboken in New Jersey, which is directly across the waters of the Hudson River from New York City and the borough of Manhattan. I would have shown you coming out of the PATH train as the entrance, but unfortunately the PATH train does not allow photography or video. But this is where I came out. And I'm going to show you a walk of Hoboken. So Hoboken is a nice, quiet, residential town. One of the smallest cities in New Jersey. It's actually called the Mile Square City as its nickname. I don't think this driver is going, but nice Belgian blocks on this block. Famously, Hoboken is the birthplace of the famous American singer Frank Sinatra, and also the first game of baseball that was recorded. So right now I'm at River Street and Newark Street. I'm walking north. I'll make a left on Newark Street. Actually, let me make a right just to show you Hoboken Terminal and also the Pier A Park, which is very famous in the area for having excellent views of Manhattan. Looks like there's an Italian festival today, the Feast of the Madonna dei Martini. So Hoboken is easily accessible from New York City. Here's a nice coffee shop, the Bean Vault Coffee. It's easily accessible by PATH train, which currently costs $2.75 to ride, a short trip from Midtown. It's also accessible by ferry and by bus. And I believe the New Jersey Transit comes here as well. So very close to Manhattan. In fact, 56% of the population here actually utilize public transportation, the highest percentage of residents in the United States, just to give you a quick figure. In fact, there's about 50,000 people who live here according to the 2010 US Census. Here we have a severely weathered statue of Sam Sloan. He was president of the Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western Railroad Company. And I'll show you what he's famous for once I walk into Hoboken Terminal, one of the most beautiful railroad terminals in the area, I believe. That's the Lackawanna Railroad station. That's the Hoboken bus terminal for New Jersey Transit. They're very strict on bicycle enforcement area. You can't ride bicycles here. In New Jersey, it's legal to ride a bicycle on the sidewalk as long as you yield the right of way to pedestrians. In fact, there's a walkway here called the Hudson River Walkway, which unfortunately this ferry terminal doesn't make continuous, but it goes all the way from Jersey City all the way up to the George Washington Bridge. In fact, it's not really complete, but it still is a long stretch of waterfront path that you can walk and cycle around. But it's very, very pretty here in this railroad station, as you can see. It reminds me a lot of Grand Central Terminal. Just look at the ceiling and those chandeliers. It's beautiful. There you get your tickets for the railroads. That's the ferry station. I'll get back to you once I show you the train area for New Jersey Transit. Also, I believe Hudson, Metro North's Hudson line, well, not the Hudson line, serves this area as well. I see there's a Metro North railroad here. There it is, all the New Jersey Transit trains and a Metro North train as well. Okay, now I'm going to show you the ferry station. There you see a timetable for when the railroads depart. Railmen for children. I wonder what this button does. And of course it makes it move. Very cute. And look at that, that one's moving too. Awesome. So, some interesting information. In 2012, the floodwaters of Superstorm Sandy rose to this level. Superstorm Sandy was a borderline Category 1 hurricane that hit the New York metropolitan area on that day, October 29th, 2012. And Hoboken was one of the neighborhoods that was severely damaged by that storm. In fact, there were many people who called Hoboken a giant bathtub. That's how bad it was. But anyway, here's the ferry terminal. You can get all the ferries to New Jersey and New York here. They have one here for the New York waterway to Wall Street. It is a little bit more expensive to take the ferry rather than the PATH train, but it's still very affordable. You can get a one-way ticket to Wall Street for $8, Midtown for $9, and Brookfield Place and Battery Park City for $7. And you can see all the prices there. But yeah, that's the ferry terminal. Now I'm going to get out of this Hoboken Terminal area to show you more of the residential neighborhood, as well as Pier A Park. The railroad terminal is a little bit fading though. I can just imagine when this was new it would be a lot more pretty, but that's what we get right now. They are doing a lot of construction over here. So let me just give you a little bit of history about Hoboken. It was first settled as part of the Pavonia New Netherland colony in the 17th century. And during the early 19th century, the city was developed by Colonel John Stevens. It became a separate township in 1849, and it was incorporated as a city in 1855. It was an industrial neighborhood for a very long time, and only recently it became a residential waterfront neighborhood with many upscale shops and condominiums. The name Hoboken actually comes from Colonel John Stevens when he bought the land. The Native Americans actually used a term that's called Hoboken hackening, that meant to carve the tobacco pipes from soapstone. And then that got transliterated to Hobuck, an Old Dutch for high bluff, and likely referring to the Castle Point, the district of the city which is above sea level. But then the name further got truncated and became Hoboken. So there's Manhattan in the background. I can see the Empire State Building in the far distance. This is the Hudson River Walkway. It's mostly continuous to the George Washington Bridge. Many property owners haven't made it continuous, but it's a nice place to come here and ride your bike, do some walking and jogging around here. I find Jersey City and Hoboken and Weehawken to be a lot more quiet than Manhattan in general. For some reason, a lot of city dwellers don't come over across the river. Actually, I think I know why. It's because they don't really want to spend the extra fare or ferry ride in order to come here. Just taking the PATH train alone, in addition to the subway, you need to pay an extra $2.75. And then if you factor in the cost of transportation going back, you have to pay double. So that's one of the limiting factors for bringing people here. Someone here is doing some exercise. There's the Hoboken Terminal in the distance, Lackawanna Railroad Station. For such a big pier, I didn't really expect just a big lawn of grass. I thought there would be more activities like ball courts and like more places of recreation, but this is Pier A. And there's Lower Manhattan in the distance, with the One World Trade Center towering above all the other buildings surrounding it. There's a New York waterway boat. You don't have to stay around for the whole video if you don't want to. You can skip ahead. I'm just going to walk around this Pier A area and get back to the main residential area. But I'm just taking in this gorgeous, gorgeous view of Manhattan that you don't really see from the east side unless you come over here to New Jersey. And there's a skyline I haven't seen much, which is the skyline of the Hudson Yards area. I see the observation deck is just about complete for the tallest building in the Hudson Yards area. You can clearly see that building is taller than the Empire State Building to the right. There's the Circle Line ferry making its way down the Hudson River. And I see the George Washington Bridge in the distance. So let me tell you about the first recorded game of baseball. It took place in Hoboken in 1846 between the Knickerbocker Club and the New York Nine at Elysian Fields, which I'll be walking past later in the video. It's not too far from here. Anyways, Hoboken is known as the Mile Square City. It's actually 1¼ miles, but that's what happened. The Knickerbocker Club was actually founded in Elysian Fields due to the lack of space in Manhattan. At that time, Manhattan was being developed, so there was a lack of free space for the baseball teams. And it was here in Elysian Fields that the first recorded baseball game was recorded. Hey look, there's a big group of Canadian geese there just walking around. There's various forms of waterfowl here, Canadian geese, seagulls. Okay, I'm finally out of Pier A. I'm going to cross the street now and walk along 2nd Street to Washington Street. Washington Street, I believe, is the busiest area around here for restaurants and bars, and also the nightlife around this area. This street along the water is called Sinatra Drive, named after the American singer Frank Sinatra. It's also co-named River Street because it's right by the river. But you see there's a lot of companies along the water here. You have Ernst & Young, Marsh & McLennan companies, Thomas Reuters, and Octa Pharma. There's also a lunch, dinner, and specials place, the Wicked Wolf Tavern. Okay, now I'm making a left onto 2nd Street. Actually, I correct myself. I'm looking on Google Maps. River Street is actually the next block. It wasn't co-named with Frank Sinatra Drive. Sinatra Drive is the street I was just coming from. Looks like there's a food truck just about to set up shop. Ibs Alforna. I might as well just cross the street here. Waiting for these cars to cross. Wonder what that noise was all about. It sounded like that truck crushed a water bottle or something. I find the residents of Hoboken have a lot more of a relaxed atmosphere compared to the residents of New York. It's a lot less chaotic here in terms of like nightlife and things to do. So here's Hudson Street. A lot of these names of these streets take reference the name of the river and the waterfront. Here we have Sushi Lounge, which is interesting. I guess it's a Japanese restaurant with a lounge. Very interesting. So now we're getting deeper into Hoboken. Oh, I just passed by this street without even looking right or left. Very, very interesting. You don't get to see too many like Belgian block line streets like this in New York City, but here's one in Hoboken. And I'm looking on Google Maps. It's called Court Street. It'll be a good place to do some street photography and things of that nature. But now I'm at the happening street of Hoboken, which is Washington Street. Here you have all the restaurants and things to do here. There's the Brass Rail across the street, Johnny Rockets, a mattress firm, Prato Bakery, Asai Ladder. I believe this may be a health food store. But yeah, there's interesting bars around here and lots of stores selling different things as well, I'm noticing. There's an Italian store across the street. Oh, let's take a look at some of the real estate around here. Why not? Okay. They don't have any prices, but that one does. $429,000 in West New York, New Jersey. That's not in Hoboken, that's in an area above here. Here's a $500,000 home in Grove Street in Jersey City. And another one in Ridgefield for $699,000. It's a nail salon. Here's a taco store. South Street Fish and Ramen Company, a brunch spot. A tanning salon. There's a Quality Greens Kitchen, which I believe is another health food store, salad place. Here we have Chipotle Mexican Grill, which is the fast food restaurant that's taken over the United States by storm. This business isn't open yet. It's a steakhouse. Moon's Falafel across the street.
Cross 3rd at Washington. Wait. Cross 3rd at Washington. Wait.
These talking walk signals are kind of unenthusiastic about crossing the street.
Wait. Cross 3rd at Washington. Wait. Wait. Cross 3rd at...
I like the ones in New York City better. He's a little more enthusiastic or don't say anything at all. Let me see what this one says.
Cross Washington at 3rd. Wait. Wait. Cross Washington at 3rd.
Okay, Hoboken, you need a better voice actor for your talking walk signals. That's my suggestion to you, Hoboken. There's Panera Bread across the street, Starbucks, Athleta, the athletic wear company, Lululemon. Sephora Studio. And some more real estate. Why not? Let's take a look. All right, we got rentals here. $4,400 a month, 21, 27. And we got some listings here. $419,000. It's another home for $2.5 million. Okay. Remax on the Hudson is who you want to contact if you're interested in property around the area. Pier A Pier. There's another place across the street called the Mile Square Frame, referencing the Mile Square city. It's a German bakery across the street too. Wow, never knew about that. And a Thai restaurant. Let's see if I could find this church which is playing this bell tongs. Oh, it's right there. Why Why not? Let's check it out. This church is the Catholic community of St. Peter's and Paul. There's the nice cobblestone or Belgian block, if you want to be accurate, lined street. And there's another church further down there. Qdoba Mexican Grill across the street, Pizza Republic.
We would look like mummies going into the water.
And we got here Ben & Jerry's, the famous ice cream company. Bluestone Lane, which is an excellent coffee shop. Highly recommend it. And here's Grimaldi's Pizzeria. Don't know if it has any relation to the same restaurant of the same name in the neighborhood of Dumbo, Brooklyn, but it is interesting to see there's a Grimaldi's here. There's 7-Eleven across the street, which is open 24 hours a day. Let's see how enthusiastic this announcer is.
Waiting to cross 5th at Washington. Waiting.
Nope, I'm not waiting with your attitude like that. Got the Karma Cafe. It looks like they're still setting up. There's a pancake house across the street, but looks like there's a sign in the window. It says it's for rent. A bookstore, a noodle house. I actually didn't expect this many restaurants and mom and pop businesses here in Hoboken. It's very different for a change. Here's a Mediterranean place, the Flatbread Grill. This entire street is just lined with businesses here and a lot of activity. Gong Cha, which is a bubble tea place. There's Chicken Factory. And there's construction going on in Hoboken. There we got O Bagel. Nice little shop there. Here's H&S Giovanni's. It's an Italian restaurant and pizzeria. Your local gym, Planet Fitness, for $10 a month. Always be sure to read the contract of the gym membership before you sign on. I doubt that it's $10 a month without any catches. There's Soul Curry across the street, fine Indian cuisine. And there's Benny Tudino's, home of the largest slice. Interesting. May have to check it out sometime. There's another bakery store, a bagel store, a stationery store, an animal hospital, and a Chinese takeout restaurant. #1 Chinese cuisine. I'm here at 7th Street right now.
Wait to cross 7th at Washington. Wait.
I think I can do a better job. Wait to cross 7th at Washington. That sounds a lot more enthusiastic than wait to cross 7th at Washington. Also, it's in a quiet voice, so how can a blind person or someone who's like visually impaired hear that? It's so quiet. Here we got the main entrance of the Hoboken Charter School. Looks like they're doing some renovations here with the garbage. The dumpster, garbage dumpster, I should say. Here's the Mount Olive Baptist Church. Very impressive for a church. I feel like after 8th Street, the amount of businesses just dies down. Now I see a lot more residential buildings. But I'm going to walk a little bit more until 15th Street.
Sometimes I think, I know I'm not supposed to, I know. But that's not the point.
I'm going to walk up to 10th Street, make a right, show you Elysian Park, which is where the baseball game was first held, and then walk up to 15th Street. So yeah, it's all residential right now. And I also see now they have angle street parking, 4-hour angle street parking here. And just a quick reference, there is a arts and music festival that's happening on September 9th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. That'll be an interesting time to come here. A lot of these buildings are very grand. It's a gourmet flowers, vegetables, and fruit store across the street. There's a sign here that says cyclists may use the full lane. It's good to see that. It means that the city is trying to encourage cycling. In fact, I do get a sense that this city is very safe for cycling. They have a lot of infrastructure for cyclists. There's Gigi's Cafe and Restaurant across the street. Sounds like it's Italian. Okay, here's 10th Street. Like I said, I'm going to turn right and show you Elysian Fields, where they first played baseball. There's also a monument to the first recorded game of baseball, only one street north of here, but I'll get back to it once I show you Elysian Fields. Interesting choice with these homeowners keeping the wild plants around the area. Brick line building. These homes along Hudson Street are very grand, very interesting European influence architecture here. Here's Elysian Fields Park, where baseball was played first. Some children having fun there, playing games and playing ball. I want to check out what this is all about. Could be a war memorial in the middle here. Wow, very interesting. Dog park. All these dogs are so cute. Okay, now I'm gonna make my way up north to the baseball monument. The next street is 11th Street, and I'll make a left there. This is a giant building going up. Lots of condominiums going up. Wow. Looks like Hoboken's the place to be, and these property developers are banking on that. You see all the workers there on the top there with the crane. This is called Maxwell Place. Okay, I see the monument, and it's across the street. There's a cigar store here and an Italian restaurant and kitchen bar. Here's the baseball monument. So the birthplace of baseball was here. Perhaps why the plaque is there instead of inside the park was because this area was completely regarded as Elysian fields at that time and wasn't highly developed. In fact, I don't even see a baseball field when I was at that park. Here's Agostino's Italian Kitchen and Bar. Another real estate agency, picture framing, and a luncheon place over here. There's a New Jersey Transit bus. Napoli's Brick Oven Pizza and Restaurant. 2 margaritas for $5. That's margarita slices, not the drink. What I'll do here, since I see a lot of residential streets here, I'm going to make a right here and go back up Hudson Street. I also see on Google Maps is the location of the Hoboken Historic Museum there, as well as the Hudson Tavern. Okay, here's Hudson Street. There's a Starbucks over there. Let me make this light before it changes. Very quiet street, I must say. Kidville, which is a nice preschool alternative. Why would someone leave a banana up here on top of this box? Come on. Dispose of your trash responsibly. Don't just leave stuff around. Of course, it could be worse. It could be like, I don't know, a stinking pile of meat. Or worse yet, it would be like a plastic cup which doesn't biodegrade. At least the banana is biodegradable. Here's 13th Street. To the right is the Hoboken Historic Museum. I might as well walk through this area and go up north, and then I'll end the video. It is closed today because it's Monday, unfortunately. What I'll actually do here is I'll end this video by the water. A nice community fountain over there. This area I'm looking at Actually, 1 block north of here is the Hoboken 14th Street ferry terminal. But there's a nice colorful pier over here at 13th Street as well. Wow, I'm glad I came here. Nice shipyard here. It's actually surprisingly calm today on the water. Didn't plan it that way, but it's here. There's some a group of people there paddleboarding. Very nice pier, I should say. I like this area a lot. Nice view of Manhattan here. Well, everyone, that does it for this video. Hope you enjoyed my walk of Hoboken and New Jersey across the river from the fabulous borough of Manhattan in New York City, as you can see now. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring that bell icon so you know when I'm uploading a new video. And I'll see you soon in the next adventure. Take it easy, everyone.